Rudy Gobert is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. But is he really a good defender? If so, then why is he always getting picked on? Let's take a look at these clips.
The thing that's interesting is, without Desmond Bane, Minnesota known for...
Why is Rudy Gobert always getting abused in this pick and roll? If he's such a great defender, teams wouldn't want to go and attack him if he's such a great defender. Now, I got an arsenal of clips just from this game alone, and even in years past, if you want to go check the dates, that show Rudy Gobert getting killed in the drop coverage. Now, we all know he's a paint defender, yes, but they're attacking you in your own paint, and he's playing the drop coverage, and they're still getting buckets on him. And to me, it makes absolutely no sense why people always saying he's the best defender in the league. 3 times he won the Defensive Player of the Year. But people always want to go to blocks and the rebounds. But they don't actually watch what happens and realize he's getting picked on every single time he plays.
19th turnover of the night for Memphis.
On top of that, in today's game, it's gotten so hard to play a drop coverage because players are so skilled. And they're going to do things like this and just attack you downhill, draw fouls and whatnot. So it's so difficult to actually do that nowadays. Like, look at this, Ja. All these guys, and I guarantee you, these guys come into these games against Minnesota or seeing a Rudy Gobert play like this and be like, oh, we see a drop coverage? Yes, it's going to be a good night. A drop coverage is so many options to get off a drop coverage. As long as you set that screen up right, that drop coverage is gold. It's golden because you can do anything. Attack the rim, you can get to your shot, mid-range 3, hit the roll, all that stuff. And even now when he plays the drop, he's supposed to contain it in the drop. You're supposed to show the ball handler, then drop to this role player. But there have been multiple times in all these clips that I showed you, and even in years past, where they just roll right behind him.
Anderson. One-on-one against Clark. Mid-range, no. Gobert keeps it alive.
They thought that'd be a hard. He just made the flashiest pass of his career, but then boom, they won this game. And they come right back and he gets attacked on once again. And now you know he's not a great defender in my opinion, because you see teams go down the stretch and they're attacking Rudy Gobert. Down the stretch of a game, teams go to the weakest link on the other team. So who is that every single time? Rudy Gobert, pick and roll, he plays his drop and he gets killed, gets fried. So to me, I know he's a paint defender. I know he gets his rebounds. I know he gets some blocks. But I don't think people realize how much defense is not just about a paint game. Because nowadays basketball is turned to a perimeter game. And he can't guard the perimeter. So to me, it's like, okay, he could get his rebounds, he could get his blocks. But he's not stopping anybody on the perimeter.
Clark with the bucket. It was fairly spectacular.
That was a long walk.
It was a long, long walk.
Now Dylan Brooks, not even an ISO player, takes him to the rim. Takes him to the rim. He's the rim protector. He can't guard the perimeter.
And in fact, and I've said this before on the air, and it's hard to believe, Rudy Gobert has the best individual offensive rating in NBA history.
Now you heard that? I'm going to go back for you once. I'm going to go back for you. You heard that? You heard that.
In fact, and I've said this before on the
Listen.
air, it's hard to believe Rudy Gobert has the best individual offensive rating in NBA history.
He just said Rudy Gobert has the best individual offensive rating in NBA history. That is exactly why I do not look at stats. I do not do no advanced stats. I watch basketball for what basketball is. And everybody wants to go to these stats when they're doing their candidate voting for MVP, Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. They just look at the stats. They don't watch no basketball. I can guarantee you that. The only people on there who watch basketball are the players and the coaches. That's the only people who know basketball. But you go to these reporters, these journalists, all these people who writing these articles up. They don't watch basketball. They just go look at the stats and think it's a cheaper way to find what's going on in basketball. But they know nothing. They know nothing. That's why I will not believe anything he just said in stats. He just said Rudy Gobert has the best offensive rating in NBA history. Now you telling me Rudy Gobert, according to a number statistic, is the best offensive player in NBA history? This is just whack, bro. That's why I will never believe stats. And now I was just talking about his defensive game, but offensively, dude's got barely any skill. Rolling to the rim, he can't even look at the ball. Now, I'm not trying to make this a Rudy Gobert roast session. I'm not trying to make this. I don't hate him. The only thing is I think he gets a lot more credit he deserves, 1. And 2, I want to see him become a better player. And I always want to see people not only become better players, but better people. So if someone could be better at something, then it's just like, damn, and they're not doing it, then it makes you say, damn, why is he not doing it? And it kind of itches me, but it's their life at the end of the day. I can't do much about it. But defensively, it's just like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it myself, and I don't understand why they dropped so much to get Rudy Gobert when they could have got Miles Turner and did just about the same thing and spread the court out. And especially when Cat comes back, you know that paint be clogged up. That paint be so clogged up, they can't do nothing. But now they look like a better team because they don't have the balls not sticking in somebody's hands so much like Cat, who's going through his ISOs and whatnot. But you can't ISO when Cat is there and Rudy Gobert sitting under the rim. And he's not an offensive threat. He can't shoot. He barely has any hands. And mind you, I'm not trying to roast Rudy Gobert right now. I'm not. He's good at getting rebounds. He's good at getting his blocks. But I believe he's just overrated. So that's it on my Rudy Gobert take on the defensive end. A little bit offensively. I got to talk about that a whole nother day. He got no skill set on the offensive end. We could talk about it a different time. But for now, let's get at Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, I believe, should be a top 3 guard, top three scoring guard in the NBA. But there's little things that he does that where he can up his scoring average. That's so little that he doesn't do within games. And today we're going to take a look at how he's able to use angles and use the setups throughout plays.
Attacking the rim.
Now in this play, you got Dylan Brooks on you. Dylan Brooks, tough defender. He's going to get up in you. He's not going to allow you to get anything easy. You bring anything close to the rim, it's only going to get more physical. But now in situations like this, he's got to set this up better. That little push on Dylan Brooks is not going to work. You got to work your player down, give him a little bump. You see what Clay does, see what Steph do. They're the best at it. That's all you need to watch if you want to learn how to set things up off the ball. You got to walk him down, pace, bump him off, then set up off that screen. In situations like this, you'd be able to get this flare because Ja would have to make this rotation or Aldama. And whatever it is you got out that play, be a player off of it. Down screen coming. No bump, no pace. Sprints up, straight to the top of the key. And now, what would he get off of this play right here? You set this up, work Brooks more towards that middle, then you curl yourself around. If he decides to jump it, you flare back out on the other side of Rudy Gobert. If not, you curl this tight right here and then allow Gobert to roll. And I know Gobert's not that good of a roller to the rim, but even if he rolls and brings some pressure, you got Knight, I believe that's his name, number 13 right here in the corner.
Minnesota, 13 degrees when I last checked.
Oh, man.
And I like how they use Ant, get him to play off the ball. Damn, he traveled crazy. I like how they get him to play off the ball and whatnot. But these little things can make him even better playing off his catch and getting to these pick and rolls and whatnot. No setup on that ball screen. No setup on that ball screen either. You gotta just be patient. Gobert is here. Gobert is set right here. So now as the ball handler, it's your job to work your defender down to get hit by that screen because it's a two-man job. So work him left, pace it. If he wants to jump it, make the reads, be a player. Be a player. Sit in little situations like this where he'll be able to come off of that, have Russell right here, shooter, Gobert on this roll, or even somebody here in the corner because you see Josh cheating all the way out and LaRavia is playing 2 right here.
He's got to do a better job of it on the road. Edwards lost it on extra hustle plays, get on the glass, see the ball go through the basket. See if that
that one's tough. That was tough. That's the right read, but it's so obvious that they're able to jump it. It's not like this play was a low-key read, like a low-key counter. It's obvious. Ja knows it. Brooks knows it. Like, this is too obvious. So what I would do in this situation right here, I would even try to get the ball for myself. And this is not just on Ant, but this is also on Anderson for the read. Because since this is just so obvious and they know what you're going to want to do, pace them. Work a little bit, work more towards the top and try to get underneath him. Work him up because he's top guarding you. Try to use your body, position yourself to get underneath him so he's just on your backside trailing. And now you make that backdoor cut. Ja has to come all the way over. And then there's a skip to McDaniels over here. McDaniels not a great shooter, but at the end of the day, a lot of these NBA players can knock down open shots.
See if that transfers to more opportunities for him.
And a turnover for Minnesota. It's always the problem. Of course, new format for the All-Star game.
Man, oh man, I never thought I'll see the day. I never thought I'll see the day they finally called Ja Morant for a travel. Yes, they called him for a travel. That was Ja Morant indeed.
It's always the problem.
Oh my gosh, they caught him. But of course it's off the catch. They ain't never going to catch him with the on-ball travel.
In a minute. Memphis
Good setup right there by Ant.
run, so very capable.
It's not even the setup I want you to peep. Is that he missed that pocket pass. Notice how he missed his pocket pass. He could have set this up better so he could take one dribble, come off that, get a shot. But it's not even that right there, because regardless, he's going to end up with Jackson on this show. That pocket pass is right there. Now, Gobert's not a good roller, like I was saying. But still, if you give him the ball in this situation, 3-on-4, you got Anderson, I trust he'll be able to make the right play for sure. He should be able to make the right play.
At the moment, Minnesota
But notice later on, this next play down, a little later down the stretch, he caught it. Show.
Like a shoot around tonight for Kyle
Good
Anderson.
pass, good dime.
He's been essentially by himself
Now,
in the corner.
that's what you got to be able to do as a player. Throughout games, if you miss something, gotta remember it and be like, dang, did I miss this right here on this coverage? If I see this again, who's going to be open? And then you tell yourself, oh, that's what it is. That's who's going to be open. Then next time you make that, you get that play, so they play in the same coverage, make the adjustments, and that's how you're going to be able to get better throughout the course of the game and not just in your workouts. So that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, turn on those notifications. Hidden highlight videos dropping daily. Live streams coming soon. Check that link in the bio. All this stuff coming soon. Live. And we out of here.